Hello, 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 and welcome to race 6 of season 1 of the SRL, and today we are at Spain. So Spain has always been one of my favourite tracks, so before heading on to time trial I was expecting a decent result here, as normally I finish pretty well, but I quickly found out that the turn 3, the long right-hander, is nowhere near as easy this year. It used to be an easy flat corner, but now if you do that you will just lose the back end annoyingly, so that was an issue, and I couldn't get my head around the new hairpin at the end of sector 2. I was braking too early and just hitting the wrong braking line, so didn't have the best of times in time trial, and it showed in my quali. As you can see at the moment, this is the final run and we were 9th going into it, so I didn't have too much room to push too strong in case I messed up further and ended up not having a good start. And even with this lap, which by the end of it I'll be 5/10 up, I only managed to qualify 7th, so yeah, really not good. Past couple of races have not been a strong quali, but my pace in the race is normally pretty consistent, so I'm always backing myself to work through the field. But we will finish the end of this qualifying lap and then take you to the race start.
I'll give you that wheel on 8.23.
No, bottled up.
Lagging behind.
Absolutely bottled up.
7th, man.
Give away?
I didn't disconnect. Just realised.
Yeah.
That's a jinx. Yeah.
Oh, high tide to work. Fucking hell. I shouldn't be going to the right into the face.
I'm about to get pinned to the die, I think, but really?
I'm the player who was catching me on the run down and realised I hadn't activated overtake.
Monty's gone.
Oh, I had such a good start, but got boxed in by a bunch of cars.
Yeah,
I think someone locked it up at the acceleration.
So we did have a really good start off the line. I managed to get myself up to 4th, and to be fair, I did have a crack at maybe even coming out of the corner in 2nd if it had been a bit braver, or just a bit of a cleaner run up the middle of Hags and Nick, but I backed out of it just to make sure we stayed alive and settled down to 4th place behind Hags. So from here, I was on the soft tyre. I was hopeful that we'd get a safety car, which would mean I could get the hards to the end if it came after about, I don't know, 6 or 7 laps. But we never made it that far because this happened.
Did go directly in that direction, but then
Yeah, because you probably didn't want to.
try and straighten up, yeah. I didn't know how I'd kind of took the gas out of it.
Oh, are you fucking kidding? Not again.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you...
Gotcha.
It's not worked out for the nasty boys.
Oh.
Yeah, we did just spin there and took out Harm, our fellow nasty boy, and actually ended his race, which is far from ideal for the constructors. But that brought out a virtual safety car, and as you can see, FG got an illegal overtake, so it had to let me through. But because I was stationary and built up a massive delta, when it does end and we have the restart from the virtual, I get a much better run than Rob through turn 3 and managed to get the position back up into 12th. So we were on the soft tyre, and I was hoping that even with what's happened I'd still be able to work my way through the field, get back up into a respectable position, and when the inevitable safety car came out I could just drop onto the hards or mediums and just take it from the end in a decent spot. So as you can see, I'm just working my way through the field here. Stefano does a nice overtake on Wiggins there and gets himself up into 10th, and then we managed to follow through as well a couple of laps later and get Wiggins under the DRS. So with some pit stops ahead of us and also getting an overtake done on DP, it put us up into 7th position, and from there really I should have come in for my pit stop, but we were getting towed along pretty nicely by Stefano ahead of us, so I thought why not stick it out, get these softs as long as I can, and then, you know, it gives us fresher tyres to end the race on. But then unfortunately this happens.
Minor 24%.
Could it be? I did not expect it.
Yeah. Chocolate milkshake. They have a protein edition.
Oh no, I'm going. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hearing commotion.
Yeah, Jerome, fuck my race.
Frankie went as well.
So as you see, yet another spin unfortunately. I had an unexpected great drive over Stefano down the straight, so I went for the overtake. Got a bit too much curb on the inside, and then I'm not sure what even actually caused the spin because it looked like I was off the curb, I was straightened up, but when I put the throttle down, back end just went. So that absolutely cooked my tyres, so I had to pit at the end of that lap, and that put me out in 15th. But never worry, we're not going to give up. We got pace of the track, and again started working up through the field, got myself to 12th just on the back of Frankie, and out came the safety car, which is what we wanted. So I jump in and put the mediums on because I just did not trust the soft tyre to make it to the end comfortably. and then we end up jumping from 12th up until 9th because we overtake Frankie in the pit lane, we overtake Wiggins' DNF car, and we also got Monty, I believe, in the pit stops. So yeah, that put us into 9th. We get a decent restart and we get past Stefano on straight. This time we don't spin coming out of turn 1, fortunately. And then next up we get Rob, yet again under the DRS. Very powerful on this track, to be fair, and I was running fairly low wing, so I was always hopeful of getting a good exit from the final corner, and I'd always have a chance of getting someone down the straight. So that's kind of been my strategy this season, low wing as possible, and from there it's just hard to be overtaken and easier to get past people. So yeah, at this point, penultimate lap, 32 of 33. RFM has got a time penalty from penalty points accrued over the previous races, so we're going to have a nice 6th finish, which wasn't too bad considering, you know, we qualified 7th, had the spins, and, you know, just hadn't been a great event for us. So 6th, it was respectable, not the end of the world. Had an outside shot at maybe catching onto the group and getting anybody else ahead if there was any carnage, but if we didn't get that, I was going to be happy with my finish. But it's never that simple, is it? I can't just cross the line with ease anymore, and this is what happened.
Say slightly by safety would have probably been posted there.
How many cars are actually like meant to be here? Oh no! Oh well. I've spun it.
Not you.
So once again, I've span on the last lap and done myself out of a good chunk of positions. Fortunately, Hags I think ran out of fuel on the final lap, and as you've just seen, Monty span on the second to last corner, so I did manage to scrape into the points. But yeah, it's not a good finish at what is probably my favourite track on the game. I was hoping for another podium, but no, I didn't quite bring it over the line, and with Tony finishing so far above us, he's now extended the lead out to 26 points, as you can see on the graphic now, which, yeah, it feels uncatchable. I mean, as I mentioned at the end of the last race, somehow I got driver of the day there, as you can see, which is absolutely baffling considering I finished lower than where I started, but that's a story for another time. But anyway, as I was saying, at the end of the last race, he is missing a few races soon thanks to a holiday, so there are going to be people who overtake him, but now that I'm not even second, it's not looking good. Blog, he's on a good run of form, he won the race here, so yeah, he might end up being the one who takes a crown this year. But we won't give up, we'll keep on racing. We've got Monaco next on Sunday, which is today if you're watching this on the day of release. So if you're around and you wanted to see all this shambles in real time, come join me on Twitch at 9 o'clock. I'll be streaming warm-up races, full race, and, you know, hopefully we'll get a good finish. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen here today on YouTube, make sure you hit like, hit subscribe, drop a comment if you will, because all interaction count, and I will see you all in a bit.
And yeah, soft was by far the own strategy. Although, to be fair, the legs are all way through
Wait! I finished lower than where I qualified.
This is broken.
I literally went down the grid.
If I doing that.
Yeah. Well,
Most impactful driver of the day for sure.
you fucking was. You didn't my front wing, man.
On all the drivers of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.